Okay, first up is Samantha, and yeah, this is looking good. Looks like you've got all the shapes, and seems pretty good. I think that you want to look where the shirt, the vest is intersecting the shirt, and pull out these points so that it's not intersecting the shirt. And for this belt here, it's penetrating the back of his body, so might want to, let's just go into component mode, make it easier to select those. Whoops. I'm just using my middle mouse drag because that, the yellow axis is highlighted, so just trying to get those out of there. Okay, that looks better. And just look at the blend shapes. Okay. Yeah, I would go bigger with the wide mouth and probably bigger with that frown. They're very subtle. Yeah, just generally I would make the shapes bigger. You don't have to go, this goes from 0 to 1 and you don't have to go all the way to 1. So if you make the shape more exaggerated, then you can go halfway there or partway there. You don't have to, or you can go all the way there if you want it to be big. But the point is, with these very subtle shapes, you don't have the option to make them bigger. So it'd be better if you made it bigger to begin with. But other than that, yeah, it seems like it's working well. Next up is Tara, and yeah, this is looking good. I'm wondering if you're going to use this or not. And maybe some kind of pupil on the eye. The shape looks interesting for the kind of alien character. You might, oh, I see how you've done this, like so. Okay. Those are all nerves. Alright. And you've got the vest. So yeah, I think this turned out pretty well. Let's take a look at the blend shapes. As I mentioned on the last one, it's a good idea to make these shapes a little bit bigger. We could see what that looks like here at the wide. Yeah. What I might do is take like these guys, those, and maybe use soft select. I hit B. I'll hold down on B and shrink that down just so it kind of affects some of the ones around them, and then I'll scale this out. And then maybe move these back a little bit just to keep that roundness on the front of the head. Something like that. And then you can see with the blend shape, I have more to work with there. I could go even further if I wanted to, but the point is now I have a little bit more leeway with the control. And oh, doesn't look quite like the tongue's working. Frown. Again, I might go bigger on that. And rather than the middle of the mouth moving up, I move the side of the mouth down. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that seems to be coming across well. Next up is Herminia, and yeah, certainly an interesting character. Those crazy colored eyes and these, whatever these appendages are hanging off the mouth. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, and the body looks alright. Looks like it worked out okay. So that's good. Now there's multiple blend shapes, and you should really just have the one. And I don't know that I'd have these parented that way, but I'd rather that be in a group than have them parented to the head. But where are these? Looks like here. And then where's this one? Oops, wrong thing. Right mouse click, reveal selected. Okay, that's the main head, so pick these guys, which would be better if you name them. And so the reason I'm doing this is because you shouldn't have these multiple blend shapes. I'm in my 2018 because I was getting errors opening stuff in 2015. The blend shape thing looks a little different in here, but really you should just have one blend shape. And here you see you have this 4. I can show you here. This will look more the same as my 2015 if I just select and delete them, or you could delete them from here. So I would select these, and then this deform blend shape. Saying that hierarchy is different on this one. Antenna 1, 2, nose, eye. Oh. Antenna 2, 1. Yeah, nose, eye 2. Oh. Upper teeth. Oh yeah, there's all these detached surfaces, whatever those are. Upper teeth, tongue. So you're missing some stuff on the base head. Oh, unless that's the base head. But that one's a group, and these aren't a group. Yeah, really, it's just easier if it's just a duplicate of the original, because then you won't have these problems. I mean, we can try that, but I don't think that's going to work. Well, maybe. Okay, that seems to work. Yeah, I think some... Oh, that's not good. That moves forward that way, too. I think some of these are a little... You should also name these so you know what each of those are. But that's bad that that's moving forward. You should just kind of redo those. Yeah, that one moves to the side a little bit. So... yeah, somehow those got messed up. There's a couple different ways that can happen. So, yeah, it probably wouldn't take you long just to redo those messed up ones and get those working again. Okay, this is Jared, and yeah, it's looking good. This one's got a lot of style with the various bandanas, and the black and red kind of look is working well for you. I like the spikes around the boot. I think that looks good. The boots look good. So, yeah, I think this is coming across pretty well. I mean, the thing with blend shapes is if you have this thing, you can't really see what's going on with that, but let's see what you've done. No blend shape node here yet, so... Yeah, the other thing with these lattices, if you're struggling with them, as a couple people mentioned, they said you don't have to use a lattice. You can just move the points around. I mean, the lattice is there to help you, but if it's causing problems, I would just leave it out and just move the points, which is it's a simple enough geometry that should be fine anyway. Yeah, so create the blend shape. It looks like the facial shapes turn out okay. Okay, this is Justin, and yeah, pretty straightforward. This is looking good. Seems like it's all set up. You don't have the blend shape created yet, so you'll want to create the blend shape. You can delete history on this first to get rid of the lattice. So you have the shape modeled, but you haven't created the blend shape. So the shapes look alright, but just create the blend shape. And yeah, I mean, you might just do more to make this a little more unique. Maybe get some more accessories in there, or stylize it more, adjust the proportions, something like that. Because right now it's just a little bit plain, a little bit straightforward. It'd be better if you did more to make it more unique. Okay, this is Anthony, and yeah, this is looking okay. Kind of different hat, worn a little low, but that's alright. That makes it stand out from some of the others. I think for this belt you might want to adjust it so it's not sort of hanging off him so much. So, sort of move these in, etc. to just kind of, because otherwise it looks like it's sort of floating there. So move those points in. And did you create blend shapes? No. Oh, you did. Okay. Okay, looks good. Wide. Might go a little wider just to have more room to maneuver there. And you can make the frown shape a little bit bigger too. Yeah, so I would just make all these bigger, like the snarl. You know, same thing, just oops, let me turn off soft select. I hit B. You know, something like that, and then you just have more room to adjust this. So you don't have to make it that big, right? You can, like when you animate it, I can just use, like, if I want a smaller one, I'm just going up to 0.3, you know, or 0.4 or 5, but I have the option to do more. So if you make these more exaggerated, then you have more, you know, room to play with how big the change is. Okay, next up is Gabrielle. That's a very, you know, different and cute one. It looks good. I like that. You might just want to use the hands that come with the Pillman though, because these look like they're going to be a little bit problematic with these spheres here. That's not a great way to do fingers. So I would just use the hands that come with the Pillman. You can always adjust the shape of those, but these aren't going to work that well. And for this hat, you might want to, you know, take this edge and this edge, and just hold on, shift and double clicking, and maybe, well, let's just do those first. Shift, right mouse click, and go down to where's my I don't know why it's not giving me the bevel. That's fine. I'm in 2018, but it's really about the same. So bevel, and then I can adjust these, like the fraction and the number of segments, something like that. So it just looks a little more rounded, you know, instead of that really sharp edge. Yeah, I think this hair is a problem because it's intersecting the arms. So I would go much shorter with the hair. Probably, you know, move it up. You know, maybe something like that. It's going to work a lot better. But it didn't look good where it was intersecting the arms. And maybe, you know, adjust it where you're not intersecting the hat. You could add an edge loop. This being I would use the multi-cut tool and, you know, control click there, and maybe, you know, you could add some more, and then you'd have some points here to kind of push those in. I'll just use B for soft select and hold down B and click and drag, make that a little bigger, and then push that in, and that way it's out of the way. So something like that. But yeah, it looks good. It's nice. It's got a lot of character to it. This is Christopher, and yeah, this is looking pretty good. I think I might try to fix this back here where you've got this surface intersecting. Oh, I picked the wrong point. Probably that one. There we go. And just kind of pull that out so they're not intersecting each other. Yeah, so that looks alright. You got the buttons there. The hat's a little beat up looking, but maybe that's what you were going for. But it looks a little, maybe a little bit too much there. Just because it looks a little bent out of shape, and there's some sort of intersecting itself with some of these edges. So I might simplify that a little bit. I mean, I like that it's a little bit misshapen, but I think it looks a little crumpled there. And let's look at the blend shapes. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Got that. Could go a little bigger on the frown, maybe pull them further down. The snarl looks good. Yeah, okay, so that's working.